Did Abraham really exist, or did we need him to exist? Not as a man, but as an idea. Because something strange happens when you look closely. 3 massive belief systems, different cultures, different timelines, all pointing back to one figure. Same name, but not quite the same person. At first, the question feels simple. Did he live? Science steps in and shrugs. No solid evidence. No contemporary records. No clear archaeological anchor. But also, no disproof. So we're left in that uncomfortable middle. Maybe yes. Maybe no. And that's where the conversation shifts. Because maybe the better question isn't, was he real? But why does he appear at all? Go further back, before Abraham, before monotheism. Humans saw the world in fragments. The wind had a spirit. The river had a mood. The sky had intentions. Not one system, many forces, many small explanations. And the brain loves that at first. Because it's concrete, immediate. This happened because that thing did it. But then something changes. Not suddenly, slowly. The brain starts doing something different. Instead of asking, which force caused this? It begins to ask, what if there's one source behind all of it? This is not just religion. This is how thinking evolves. In science, we do the same thing. We move from scattered explanations to unified theories. Less chaos, more compression. So the idea of one God might not be random belief. It might be cognitive efficiency. And right at that transition point, there's Abraham, or at least the story of someone like him, a man looking at idols, objects people believe in, and he hesitates. Something doesn't sit right. These can't be it. That moment matters. Because it's not blind belief, it's doubt, curiosity pushing against tradition. But then the story splits, depending on who tells it. In one version, he's a prophet, a direct line to God. A messenger. In another, he's a patriarch, the beginning of a lineage, a biological root. In another, he becomes something more abstract. Not a messenger, not a founder, a symbol of faith itself. Same character, different roles. Why? Because stories adapt. Not randomly. Functionally. A society needs structure. It gets a lawgiver. A people need identity. They get an ancestor. A belief system needs depth. It gets a symbol. And then comes the most intense moment. The one that almost breaks the mind. The sacrifice. A father asked to give up his son. One tradition says the son is Isaac. Another says Ishmael. The detail changes, but the tension stays. Because the real question is not, which son? It's, what kind of mind even considers this? A mind pushed to its limit. Between emotion and belief. Between what you feel and what you think is true. And then something else happens. Even after reaching one God, we don't stop. We rebuild complexity. Angels, messengers, layers. Because the brain still wants structure. Still wants hierarchy. So now we have one source, but a system around it, which is strangely familiar. Like governments, like organizations, one center, many functions. So what are we actually seeing? A historical figure? Maybe. A collection of different people merged into one? Also possible. Or something deeper. A psychological milestone. A moment where the human mind stops accepting many small answers and starts searching for one big one. And maybe Abraham is just the name we gave to that moment. So here's the uncomfortable ending, not a conclusion. Attention. If Abraham didn't exist, why do we all remember him? And if he did exist, why do we remember him so differently? Maybe the real story is not about him at all. Maybe it's about what happens inside a human mind when it stops accepting the world as it is and starts asking, what if everything comes from one place?